Guillaume, and we're here to talk about The Lion King 3D. What was your first thoughts when you heard that they was going to remaster this film in 3D and bring it back to a whole new generation of audiences?
Well, like most people, I would say, how can you do that? What's going to be involved in that? And I was astounded that it was reaching yet another level.
Right. And let's talk a little about your character, Rafiki, because it's part of the story where he tells Simba it's your time, and it's time to stand up there and take your kingdom.
Take the heat.
Yeah, take the heat. How do in real life, how do we know when it's time? Do we all have these Rafikis, or what's a good clue to know when it's your time?
Well, I think you get a slap from the Outer Banks or something, and you finally figure out, I guess I'd better be doing something else.
Right.
Or if we're lucky, somebody will tap us on the shoulder and say, move over here, would you please?
Yeah. Well, I can't. I'll be remiss without being able to speak about how I first was introduced to you as an actor, and that's through your work in Benson and in Soap, actually. A little about that character I wanted to talk about. You seem to be able to overcome stereotypes with that character. Like, you have a man playing a butler, and he has dignity. How important was that to you to inject that into the character? Because I feel like that's not how it was created.
Very astute. I'll be frank with you, Jamaal. I never have thought about dignity. The very term turns me off. I don't really think of it as dignity. I think of it as a certain truth that you have in your head. And that's not in any grandiose sense of truth. It's simply that all I ever felt that I had as an actor was my sense of that very simple truth. I am what I am. I mean, it's like Popeye. I am what I am. And that's all I ever tried to play was, is it true and do I mean it?
Well, this year, I mean, we have The Help, and I know I've read about you, and you said your grandmother worked as a domestic,
which is what they call them there.
yeah. And I wanted to know, they also got a lot of backlash from the community about portraying these characters again. And I wanted to get your feelings on the characterization of African American characters in film, and in films like The Help, and what do you think about those roles?
Well, there again, if you can tell the truth, and if you can be honest with an audience, I think it's all right. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, people who constitute what they call the help are just people like the rest of us.
Right.
And I don't see much wrong with it. I see sometimes that the story of people who are the help is quite often being told by people who don't really understand the help, nor do they care to. And I think that that's where the problem may lie sometimes. It's someone else's story.
Right.
It's not the story of the help, I don't think, in many instances.
Okay. So about your career, I mean, you've won two Emmys in TV, and you've done, some work in film and everything else. What's been the most, I guess, rewarding part of this career, and voice and TV and theater, and being first African American Phantom of the Opera? Like, what's been the most rewarding part of your career, you would say?
I'm not sure, Jamaal. It's a funny kind of thing. The next thing that I'm doing is the most important thing to me, or the thing that I'm doing at the moment. One of the things that I liked about Lion King so much was it's the first time I'd done a major character, the voice of a major character. And I found it so rewarding in the sense that it freed me from a lot of notions that actors have about doing stuff. I found a liberating element in doing Rafiki. The crazier I became, the truer it became. I could throw caution to the wind, and almost everything that we came up with, which was done from that point of view, worked.
It did.
And I was very, very lucky, but I have seldom encountered that in some of the other stuff that was not cartoons.
Right. Well, I hope to see you in a lot more stuff, whether it's voice or back on the screen on TV or in more films. I'm really honored to be here with you, and I salute your career. Thank you.
Well, I thank you very much, Jamaal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.